Welcome back to Prudence Coaching English class. Hello students, here we provide ICSE, CBSE and WBBSE solution. Today we are here with the most important video from the Merchant of Venice, the source of the play. Students, you must watch this video because without knowing the source of Merchant of Venice, your knowledge will not be completed and you will not be able to answer all the question in your exam. So let's start this. The bulk of the raw material for the plot of the play seems to come from many resources. Shakespeare was generally not in the habit of inventing plots for his plays. He usually worked on the borrowed plots, which usually so skillfully rearranged that it appeared new and fresh, making it even better than his sources. The Merchant of Venice contains one main plot and several subplots. The main resources for his plots are following. Number 1. The Jew. The story of the bond of human flesh is of ancient origin and is found in many religious tales of ancient countries. According to some, Shakespeare made use of some old plays which could never be traced. The play might possibly have been the one have been mentioned by Stephen Gudson in his School of Abuse, which was published in 1579, which he calls the Jew, which represents the greediness of worldly choosers and the bloody minds of usurers. This statement proves that the bleeding of the Bond story and the Three Cascades was an accomplished fact in the dramatic literature in English in 1579. Now the second source, which is Il Picaron. The most probable source for the main plot in The Merchant of Venice seems to have been one of the most important stories in Il Pecoron, a collection of Italian stories by a Florentine writer, Ser Giovanni Florentino, which was published in Milan in 1558. No English version of the story has been found ever, so it is said that Shakespeare had read it in its original version, which was Italian. In the story, a Venetian merchant Ansaldo borrows 10,000 ducats from a Jew, giving him a bond that if he fails to repay, then the Jew would have a pound of flesh from his body, from whichever part he pleased. Ansaldo had given the money to his godson, Gianto, to be able to marry a rich widow of Belmonte. The story has mentioned about shipwreck, the pound of flesh to be realized on the forfeiture of the bond, how the civil doctor settles the dispute, reminding the Jew of the pound of flesh but not to shed a drop of blood, and also the ring episode. Now we'll go for the third source, that is Gesta Romanorum, the Cascade story. The Cascade story may have been derived from Gesta Romanorum, translated by R. Robinson in 1595, where the heroine was asked to make a choice between three vessels in order to win a husband. Of these, one was made of gold, another was of silver, and the third made of lead, bearing inscriptions somewhat similar to what is made found in Shakespeare. The device of the cascades is found in other stories. The earliest known version being a Greek story by Johnson Damascus, written in the year 800 and translated into Latin in the 13th century. Now students, we have finished this source. Now I would like to tell you another interesting resource that you should know. Now we are going to discuss the last probable source of the play, which may be probably like this. The Jew of Malta by Christopher Marlowe must have been in Shakespeare's mind. Here the daughter of the Jew fell in love with a Christian young man and she ran away with him. This play seems to have been influenced Shakespeare so that he based the Jessica Lorenzo episode into this play. This was presented by Marlowe in 59. So finally I told you and the resources. So students, finally, if you find this content helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe, share and like our videos. Thanks for watching students. Have a nice